Okay, perfect. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Municipal Services Standing Committee meeting of February 11th, 2024. I can confirm that there's a quorum and I'll call the meeting to order. And I will hand the chair off to Councillor Benoit.
At 6:31. Okay, acknowledgements of the First Nation. Mayor and Council wish to acknowledge the town of Fort Smith, located within Treaty 8 territory. Treaty 8 territory also encompasses the traditional lands of the Salt River First Nation, Smith Landing First Nation, and the indigenous Métis people of Fort Smith. These nations have maintained stewardship and their sacred lands throughout the generations. We honor their knowledge, teachings, traditions, and the land. We are mindful that colonization has not been kind. We respectfully recognize our generational histories and commit to strive for unity in the spirit of truth and reconciliation. And first thing on the agenda is
we need to move it.
accept the agenda as presented.
We need a motion.
I'll move that the agenda be adopted as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Minutes.
I move the minutes from the Municipal Services Standing Committee meeting on January 14th, 2025 be adopted as presented. Second.
Carl seconds.
All in favor? Passed. Visions and values, which is in the package for your review. Any discussion on that? Okay. Declaration of financial interest. See, we got none. And moving on to the director's report, the municipal services report for January.
Thank you. Unfortunately, our Director of Municipal Services was not able to join us this evening. You have it in your package. Are there any questions regarding the Director's report as presented?
Thank you, Chair. How is work progressing with the pool and the equipment and the shutdown? Getting ready for going for April 25th?
I'm extremely fortunate that the Director of Recreation Services is beside me and that she'll be able to give us an update on that.
Yes, so we have a local contractor in right now working on some of the additions in the mechanical room, so to take care of some of those very long-standing issues around flooding in the basement. So the shutdown has been we've been able to move on that. Another local contractor is redoing the floor in our chemical room, which has been something that's come up a few times with health and safety, is the chemical store there over time do start to eat away at the concrete. So that's being drilled and re-poured. All of there's a lot of smaller maintenance issues that are being taken care of along the deck. One of the bigger ones, like the whole wooden bench systems being finished. So there's quite a hefty load of work orders in the queue, and they're steadily working away at them as quickly as they can, based on where they're pulled from day to day. So there's typically been even two workers in there for our own staff, and then we have contractors in there that will handle some of the bigger parts. The AFD piece that we need for our air handling unit is still not there. But in the interim, we were able to go through a full service on the rest of the air handling unit and have it like really properly cleaned out. So when we do have that piece installed, the odds of us being able to run well or much higher, so. That's all I know that's been done so far. If I might be missing some stuff, but that's a few of the things I know.
Any other questions?
Just, thanks, Chair. Just a comment that, it's really nice seeing the snow getting moved away as it is, like our streets we're getting ready for the spring shot. What is the word? Freshets. The melting of snow. That was always a funny word to use for me. But, yeah, so it's really nice to see that all the work's getting done and prepared for that. So good job, guys. This is the best year we've had for snow clearing and removal.
Yeah, it is looking fine.
You're fine.
Okay, moving on to D, administration. Briefing notes, overview of the proposed Métis and Town of Fort Smith land trade agreement.
Thank you very much. I just thought I wanted to bring this forward. This was something that we started last year. We had a meeting between the Métis and the town in regards to future needs for the community and for our water reservoirs and where we could possibly have them. Because the Métis-owned land is located right beside our current water treatment plant, there was some discussion around maybe we could look at just securing that land ahead of time now for some future planning. And so we had brought that forward. The Métis were very amenable to it, and they proposed some different options for what they would like to trade us for. So it's all contained within here. Everybody's had a chance to review it or if they have any questions before we go into some of the talk about the alternatives.
You have your hand up, Mr. Jackie?
No, because I do, but no, I don't.
I'm reading this and I'm a little confused. Did we approach the Métis or did the Métis approach the town?
I would, any history on that, because it was just before my time. I was informed that the discussions happened before I came on, but we didn't actually have to sit down until I was there. So if anybody has any history on the timing of that?
I don't know if, well, as I recall, it's just that is a less desirable property to build on, correct? Like the swap that they're looking at. So they wanted to swap for something more desirable to potentially build housing or development in that. And so that came in just, I don't know how it happened, what came first, but just through conversation. Well then, you know, we might need that as a town, well, we want better. So then the conversation just kind of organically occurred and then it came. That's what I recall.
That was everyone else's question, and I couldn't. I'll continue though. Okay. So I've offered up some different options for the next steps. I mean, truly, I believe best one at this time is to wait until we're done all of our water, we defer making a decision. But I wanted to bring it forward because there has been questions asked, where are we at with this? What's going on with this? And that was brought up a few times. So I just wanted to sort of keep council appraised. And because it's a new council, I thought I'd bring you up to speed on what's happening. My recommendation at this time is that we defer the decision while we do the water sewer system assets, or assessments rather. And so then we have a full picture of what we need for the future. So we sort of look at that. So that is my recommendation right now, because I feel like we'd be premature to move forward until we know exactly what we need.
If we delay, will it interfere with the Métis process for what they're trying to get for their land or withdrawal?
If that's what council wants me to investigate, I'd absolutely look into that. We haven't heard any further. I only know that the Métis had submitted a request to withdraw that. So I would have to do a little further research on what the actual implications of continued delay would be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would be afraid of that. Us delaying something for them. If this is probably more likely than not something we would probably move forward with, because it works in line with what our plan is for that area. I wouldn't want our delay to have a negative impact on the AT.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like, it'd be nice at some point to see just a map of the parcels or the parcel identifications.
I meant to.
And I guess without seeing that, I think I know the lots in question, but I guess the one question I would have, being uneducated on, because that's adjacent to the cemetery, what is the lifespan of our cemetery? And is there a risk that we may potentially want to expand the cemetery into that long going forward, or if that'll cause problems with us in 10 or 15 years? So I think that's just something to consider once we get to wherever we're having that consideration.
I just want to say that it is in your binders, the old briefing note that does have all the maps.
Okay.
So I did provide in your binders is all the 2024 reports dates.
Thank you, Chair. Just following Mayor Ferguson's comment is, I believe the Métis are in the process of looking at actual developments, and I don't think we should be a delay on our part should not infringe upon the ability of them to be able to start development. It's critical for the growth of our community that development does not be delayed. So that's the only concern I would have is if we decide to defer a decision that it may infringe upon their ability to start development.
If council's decision is for me to go back for more information, I'll set up a meeting with the Métis and see what their timeline is looking like and if our delay will impact.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be a checklist, specific information, so we can follow up.
Okay. So we'll follow up for further information.
Yes.
Defer decision at this time?
Well, but with Métis, ask them if where they're at with what they're trying to do, develop, if our delay will impact their development plans.
Would it also be possible to get some information on the cemetery? I have no idea if there's a cemetery plan or what kind of life there is left in that cemetery. I shouldn't say it that way, but that's my only concern is what would, if the town is going to be responsible for looking after cemeteries, what's going to be the potential cost if we have to establish a new one in 10 years somewhere else?
Perfect.
Thanks, Madam Chair. I'm really hoping that is actually addressed in our community plan and zoning bylaw thing. It's supposed to be forward-looking, and I would hope that that somewhere within that plan they've identified our needs for cemetery growth and things like that.
I did, but I'm trying to remember specifically what I was going to ask. Something was there a second. Too late. I know. Sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I thought we had some discussion future. I think we discussed this before when we talked about a future plan. Perhaps if we needed to extend the cemetery, it would be across the road that vacant lots. That was suggested. We've never made any formal decisions. But there's no right now it's being done.
I would like to, may I do including into the further gathering of information, include into what the cemetery, if there's been, I understand that the director beside me might have some information. So I will get some corporate knowledge and corporate history and see what I can bring back.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a question for administration as to whether we should put this in form of a motion or not.
suggest you motion to defer it for more information.
Or we could table
I'm just wondering if it's worthwhile asking about the intended use of these lots, in particular the one adjacent to the arena. Whether or not, you know, like we might, our decision might change depending on what they intend to use that space for. Are we allowed to ask that of them? No. Okay.
I do believe that the intent before they were talking about using that space where the old fire hall space was, that's the lot we're talking about, correct? Is going to be a culture center, culture property, culture something.
I'm just going to remind council that our zoning bylaw dictates the use, so as long as it's within our compliance, and any future development would have to fall in line with the zoning bylaw on that.
So, yeah, one last question, I guess, on that note. So if we're talking about a land swap, this is separate than any potential land claims, and this is still going to be municipal lands? Or would this be tying into their potential land claim? Because that would potentially change.
I believe it actually would stay still town land, because they would be giving up their claim on their land. So it wouldn't be a swap of their claim, that they'd be pulling back their desire on that one land.
Right, the land we give them.
That's not our home to do that. I don't believe that they would then be trying to change the designation of that land, but I can follow up on that. But I'm pretty sure when we discussed it, it was giving up their claim on that land.
Thank Chair. If there is, I guess, no further questions, I move that we table the motion.
I'll second that. Do we have any seconder? Yeah, I'll second it.
All in favor? What's this, motion here? Is that the one we're talking about?
The briefing note, overview? Correct. Yeah, so we didn't do anything with it, so that was under administration. We can go on now to other business.
Okay, so other business.
There's
No other business. Okay, moving on, excuses.
I move that employees be excused from the Municipal Services Standing Committee meeting of February 11th, 2025.
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carried. And the date of the next meeting is March 4th, 2025 at 6:30.
I move that the meeting be adjourned. 6:50.
I'll second it.
You need a long stick to pull.